Hello friend, this is PK. Let's start with the daily market news. Fed taper talk. The Fed wrap up its two-day meeting on Wednesday and its statement will be scrutinized for any mention of the time frame for tapering its asset purchase program. Although Chairman Jerome Powell made it clear in his recent testimony to Congress that the US economy still needs the central bank's full support. In June, policymakers began debating when to start cutting monthly purchases of $120 billion of treasuries and mortgage-backed securities. Powell may indicate that while a discussion on tapering has started, there is still time before officials reach a conclusion on what they will do. Policymakers are expected to highlight the risk from the rapidly spreading Delta variant, which investors worry could derail the economic recovery. Most analysts expect the Fed to give a clearer indication of its plan for scaling back its quantitative easing program at its annual conference in Jackson Hole, Wyoming in late August before a formal announcement on tapering later in the year. Data dump. Aside from the Fed meeting, investors will get an update on the strength of US economy with an end of month data dump. Highlight is on Thursday with a first look at a second quarter GDP. And while expectations have been trimmed back in recent weeks, growth is still expected to be strong at 8.6 annualized. This would mark the recovery of all lost output caused by the pandemic and could be peak of the most pandemic recovery. Earning deluge. US earnings are kicking into higher gear. Investors will be watching the largest tech names to gauge whether a recent shift away from reflation trade and into growth stocks that lead market for the last decade will continue. Earnings from Apple and Alphabet on Tuesday, Facebook on Wednesday, and Amazon on Thursday could accelerate a shift back into growth. FANG stocks, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google parent Alphabet are usually known for delivering stellar stock market returns, but only Facebook and Alphabet have beaten the S&P 500 so far this year, as investors pile into financial energy firms and other companies that should benefit from the post-pandemic economic rebound. Other earning results that will be in the spotlight include Microsoft, Tesla, Boeing, Caterpillar, Pfizer, Procter and Gamble, and McDonald's. Market volatility. Growth and value stocks weighed for much of last week as investors weighed the surging Delta variant against upbeat earning result and economic data. All three major US stocks index closed at record high on Friday, with the Dow closing above 35,000 for the first time ever following a volatile week as risk appetite waxed and waned. On Monday, the S&P 500 recorded its steepest on-day drop since May before going on to post its biggest one-day jump since March a day later. Euro area recovery. In the Eurozone, second quarter GDP data on Friday will give investors some insight in the strength of the bloc economic recovery from a double-dip recession as vaccination pick up. Last Thursday, ECB President Christine Lagarde said a fresh wave of the coronavirus pandemic could pose a risk to Eurozone's economic recovery after the bank hinted at an even longer period of the monetary support at its latest policy meeting. That's all for now.